As we all know, in the last, 2 years, 3 years, we've all dived into the world of generative AI, and we've all embraced it. And I think that's the key. I think fundamentally, this is a pivotal shift. And the reason why I say that is companies that were legacy companies weren't built with the architecture of mind to have a generative AI architecture. And I think the companies that we are, all embarking with and embracing these days are built with the new architecture in mind that is built off of a generative AI architecture. And I think that's going to be a big differentiator. The legacy companies are going to, do their best to scaffolding and try to pivot their architecture or acquire companies to kind of keep up with this new wave. And I think this is the future. So when you ask that question of, if I, had a magic wand and if I could change everything within a few seconds, what would I do? The one that comes to my mind is almost having a personal assistant in the security space. And when I say that is, this is almost security. Your view of security, whether you are a SecOps person, you are an AppSec security engineer, or you are a leader in security, you have different areas that you are focused in, right? And what you have to do next, whether it's a vulnerability you're trying to tackle, whether it's an architectural problem you're trying to tackle. It would be really interesting to see if we are able to get agents that are basically to your organization's persona, and they're able to, basically keep you on track. For example, if you are in security operations, this is, I think, the second area that I think is in the midst of a great disruption today. There's a number of startups that have come up in this. With generative AI, we are going to get more and more data being created and ingested in many different facets. And I think as human beings, we will need assistance from toolings to kind of look at this data at scale and then be able to siphon through all this data and be able to really focus on the critical areas that are called out. And I think this is where security operations from a level 0, level 1, even level 2, that will get to a maturity state where an agent can kind of sift through the data, correlate it based on your architecture, right? So this goes back to my first point of being built around in the new generative architecture. And then if you are coupling it with some of the legacy architecture, how does that impact your environment? And then be able to bubble it up and say, look, I'm going to take actions X, Y, and Z based on their environment and what we've learned from them. And then there is a human in the loop if you're doing some sort of a critical task at hand or something that's going to be majorly disruptive.